GingerGM.
Hello everyone. How you all doing? Jerry, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Simon.
Lovely jubbly, Jerry. And just to confirm, can everyone in the chat and Twitch, which I'm hoping Jerry can maybe see a little bit, can you hear me in the chat? Can you hear me? Can you hear Jerry? Jerry, keep speaking in your lovely Irish tongue.
I'm not so sure about lovely Irish accent, but I hope they can hear us. Yeah, I can hear both. I can see the chat here. They seem to be able to hear us, Simon.
Brilliant. Well, that's a good start, I guess. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
And well, we're going to have a very, very fun stream. I might just adjust Jerry's camera a little bit so we get the lovely Jerry in. And yeah, well, basically, normally this time of year, this weekend, I'd be over in Ireland. Wow, my favourite weekender. This and the Icelandic Reykjavik Open are my two favourite tournaments. And it'd be the Bumratty competition over in Ireland. I'd normally be there now in what day is it? It's Saturday. I might be playing a game. I'll probably be in the bar drinking a Guinness or a bottle of wine or something as I normally do. And we're going to be streaming my attempt at the Bumratty competition. You can see some of the players here. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But I've got my good friend and the organizer of the Bumratty tournament. Cheers, Jerry. Can I cheers you, Jerry? Have you got your drink there? Cheers, Jerry. A tiger beer. Cheers.
Cheers, Simon.
So, so Jerry, you know, tell us a little bit about Bunratty. I can see we got Peter Doggers in the chat. I've got a picture of Peter. I'm gonna put up in a minute actually. So we you know, if we get time, we got about 14 minutes before the tournament starts, Jerry. So we can have a good chat now. And Peter Doggers, well, he knows all about Bunratty. What is Bunratty, Jerry?
Well, Bunratty actually started in 1994, and it really wasn't our idea to start it at all. The manager of the hotel in Bunratty, a fellow called Michael Nix, and this is going back to late 1993, he was managing a hotel that was primarily getting most of its money from the summer tourists industry, most American tourists and all that. And there was very few tourists around in the winter time, so it was quiet. So he kind of approached the local chess club and said, "Guys, could you run a tournament in our hotel?" And that was the very start of it in 1994. And at the time, the leading tournament in Ireland would have been Kilkenny, and they had just started to bring over IMs and GMs. You know, there was, you know, we decided, the best thing that ever happened to us. We got into competition with them, and every year we try and outdo each other. That's really the genesis of the whole idea. And
how many years has it been going on now, Bumratty, Jerry?
If we had ran this year, it would have been our 28th.
28th year.
So you call this a 28th.
It's a 28th year tournament. I'm trying to remember the first year I played.
I remember it, Simon. I remember it. It was 2006, and you won it.
2006. The first, so I've only won it one time. The first time I played, and 2006. Bloody hell! So like a long time ago. You're looking at 15 years ago, and I've got some pictures, Jerry, and I've got some pictures from the event, and look how I've changed in the space of 15 years. So let's just see if I've got the right pictures here. I'm gonna just see. I've got many. Let me just find the ones. Look at that. That is my first year with the trophy in the top left there. I'm looking very smart, collecting my trophy with a very oversized jumper, and you can see me there looking fresh-faced next to that with a Lawrence Cooper. And how I progressed, there's a pint of beer, and I moved up to a bottle of wine in recent years. So
yes, that's the famous Riesling Gambit one, isn't it?
That is, yes, the Riesling Gambit
yes.
game where I got myself a nice bottle of Riesling and then went on to beat Grandmaster Peter Wells. So that was fun. Hello to Bjorn. Bjorn's in the chat as well, Jerry. So Bjorn is yay, Bjorn.
Hello, Bjorn. Hello, Bjorn. Yes. He's I'm his favourite victim.
And I do want to show a lot of pictures, Jerry. I mean, you can comment on them before the tournament starts, because it's one of the most friendliest tournaments in the world. It's quite near to Limerick in Ireland, and you can fly to Shannon, where it's I think there's a lot of flights from England. It will be happening next year, and I'm just going to show you sort of the vibe of it. Now, there was a famous party. How many years ago was Paul's first party? And this party here. This is I'm trying to think. Was it two or 3 years ago now?
It was February 2018, our
25th year anniversary, and you can. The amazing thing about this is you can look at some of the party pictures. We can see Peter Doggers there in the background. You can see Nigel Shaw at the bar in the middle one, and this looks like a proper pub. Look at all the whiskey there. Look at all the fun. I mean, it's quite a small pub. But amazingly, it was actually at Paul Kerry, and a big shout out to Paul Kerry. He has a pub in his house, Jerry.
And it's actually my background. I know it's very difficult to see, but the background is a photo of Paul's bar. Yes.
And he's got an awesome bar there with some amazing drinks and whiskey, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
And let's just have a look. There's some more pictures, and there's Jerry with Fiona. You can see in that next picture, and we got who's that lurking behind you? I'm just trying to make it out. In that picture, can you see?
That's Brian Scully. That's Brian. He's almost certainly watching. Shout out to Brian. He's one of the organisers as well.
That is Brian, isn't it? Hello, Brian.
Brian, yes.
And then you got Tim Wall over there. In the bottom picture, you've got Fiona, Keith Arkle, Grandmaster with his cowboy hat on, and Selena as well. And you could just see the whiskey there that was on display. And oh my words, I'm not
a small selection.
A small selection. I'm not normally a whiskey man, Jerry, but the whiskey was gorgeous there. It was really, really gorgeous. And some more pictures from the party, so you can see us now. This is well, I'm gonna play you a song in a minute. You can see Jerry there playing the guitar. Some other grandmasters. If anyone can name in the top left picture all 4 people, then I think they get a free DVD. Okay, so there we go. I'm giving away free DVD, and I'd rather it's not someone who's was at the party. But if you can name in the top picture with where Fiona's doing the V sign, I'm going to give you a clue. That is Fiona. Who are the other 3 people in that picture? If anyone can name all 4 people, they win a free DVD. GingerGM DVD. Oh my words, you can't get better than that.
Just point out in the photo beside them, where I'm playing the guitar, the fella also playing the guitar beside me is my younger brother Dermot.
Right, and we got a video of Dermot playing in a minute at the party.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm going to show the video in a minute, and you can see below this. This is the local pub that we go to in between the rounds, after the rounds, and sometimes before the rounds. It's one of the oldest pubs in Ireland. It's Dirty Nellies. No one's mentioning who the people are there. They're both quite famous. Grandmaster, International Master. I can do 4, but we got Zibbit Ingvar, who's been over there as well in the chat. Peter, well done, Semi-Slav 44. I don't know, you must be an English guy. You win a DVD. Now email me at this email address. You can pick a digital download for the GingerGM collection, and we'll send one over to you. And
I thought Peter Doggers might catch a few people out there, but well done. Well done.
Yeah, Peter. Well, I don't know, but Malcolm's singing there as well. Malcolm Payne is having a little sing along there, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And we'll go to some more photos now. There's some real characters playing in the event. This is again outside Dirty Nelly's chest pub with the chest tattoo, and this is the chap from Northern Ireland who is a regular there, very nice chap. And I'm going to now play the video of your brother playing guitar. And this is at the party at Paul Kerry's house. So should we watch the video, Jerry?
Oh yeah, why not?
Okay, so this was on the Thursday, and hello Peter. That looks like Peter in chat, and this is actually, I think you can hear Peter in the video, and this is at the house. And what happens is the tournament starts on Friday. We fly over on the Thursday, and it says party on the Thursday. So this is from the party on the Thursday.
I get dizzy doing this. So when I write something about this tournament, I can just get all your photos. Right?
Yeah, videos, photos, everything.
No reason to get excited. If you think on let's go. There are many here among us who think that life is but a joke. When you and
I get dizzy doing this.
I'm this is not
Limbo dance under the camera.
now. The hour's getting late. All along the watchtower. tower, princes kept their view, while all the women came and went, and barefoot servants too. But outside in the distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching now, and the wind began to howl.
One, two, three, four.
Hey!
Away from the USA with 10. This country is wrestling trigger.
Yeah, you might. Hey! Good stuff. Well, there we go, Jerry. And that was from one of Paul Carey's famous parties. And Charlie Chesscat is asking him, is that when Keith had just been to the ranch over in Texas? Yeah, he got a cowboy hat made for him, so he came back with that cowboy hat. Now, the games, we are going to actually play some chess. It's a bloody strong tournament. I'm just going to show a couple more pictures before we get to the first round. It's going to be quite interesting because I'm playing, but Jerry's going to stay on and do a bit of commentating. We'll see how well I play. I'm going to try to commentate a little bit on the moves. We haven't really worked it out. We're going to see how it goes. But let's just have a look at some other people who've been there. Now, Gary O'Grady is the main sponsor. He's up there in the top left. And look at the young Lawrence Trent. Bloody hell. How young do you think Lawrence is there? Is he even allowed to drink there, Jerry? Is he old enough?
You know that top right photograph there, right?
Yes.
You know, I christened that photograph the full English breakfast.
Ah, the full English. Well, you got International Master Simon Ansell, International Master Thomas Rendell, Grandmaster Mark Hebron, and I am Lawrence Trent. And
not even old enough to shave.
I know, I'm not even old enough to shave. I know, that's what I'm thinking. Thank you for the stuff, Darren. There, that's thank you for the subs. That's very kind of you. Hello to everyone else who's come along and you know to join in this kind of random one. And Bjorn, yeah, Bjorn's looking young, isn't he, Zibbit? He's looking really young. And this is when he got his Grandmaster norm. And then you got the legendary Grandmaster Luis Gallego there. So there's some really interesting characters.
A very interesting character is Lewis. He actually told me he'd never come back to Bunratty again, but the only reason is he just found it too cold. You could see him there playing with a scarf on.
Oh no! Oh, we see Gary O'Grady is in the chat now, and Gary is the guy in the top. Did Gary actually once win a prize then in Bunratty? It seems like he might have done, right?
No. He tied for a prize. He tied for a prize, but he didn't win it on tiebreak, and he called that the anti-English tiebreak rule.
Yeah. Well, that does sound something that might happen in Ireland, Jerry, I guess. so some great pictures, and yeah, we're going to be playing this fun event, and well, let's also just have a look at who's playing. And Jerry, you can tell us maybe the games are due to start very soon, but what's the time limit and stuff for this blitz event, which is going to start in about 1 minute? Look at those players. Take us through it, Jerry.
Wow, well, the time limit is 3 minutes for all your moves plus 2 seconds increment, so it's pretty fast. It's 9 rounds. There should be a break, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But looking at who's after registering, wow, it is really strong. There's 243 players so far, and top seed is Mr. David Howell, followed by Peter's Fiddler and Gawain Jones. A shout out to Gawain, really, because it's 5 o'clock in the morning where he is.
And he's there, so you can see. I mean, really strong. And by the way, a shout out to Codder's book Marcus, who have put a price to book up on this event. I didn't actually have time to actually get the book open, I'm afraid, Codder's, but it's going to be a very interesting event. And I mean, I'm picking David Howell to win it. He's my pick. Obviously, Peter's. All these guys at the top, they're obviously all incredibly strong. I mean, if I just scroll down the list on the right, we can see who's actually registered. we can see there we got Bjorn, who's in that picture there, and Richard Pert, Lawrence Trent, Keith Arkall. That's Bjorn's brother, Bree, Big Al, Zibbit's playing, Blair's in it. It's incredibly strong. Richard Bates, a regular to the event, and Fiona's in the event. It's going to be a great event, and there's a lot of people in it. I mean, it's how many people are playing, Jerry?
It should end up around 260, give or take a few. It's at 244 right now. And Simon, you're the 12th seed so far.
12. Okay, right. 12 seed. By the way, Codders, I'm sorry about the MooBot doing something. That's an automatic. Codders 74. The MooBot's automatically doing something there. I'll try to change that a bit later if you can just get back on. I can't do that at the moment, I'm afraid. So I'm the 12th seed. That's not bad. I'm above Mickey Adams. How am I seeded above Mickey Adams? That's just ridiculous.
Mickey did tell me that his mouse skills definitely play a part in his rating online.
Okay.
Or his lack of mouse skills.
I mean, Mickey Adams is, in my opinion, the strongest ever British player at his height, and he was at his height for a while. He was England #1 for a long time. Obviously, Nigel Short was in the final of the World Championships, but Mickey is just an incredibly good player. So, you know, don't underestimate Mickey at the same time. So it's going to be good fun, and we're starting now. Actually, I'm in with my first game, Jerry. So I and again, remember, if you give me an advice, Jerry, it'd be cheating. So don't. Please...
wouldn't dream of it, Simon. Wouldn't dream of it. No. But I'll just say for the record, my money's on Peter's Fiddler.
Your money's on Peter. Okay. Right, so I'm playing an Irish guy. I don't know if Jerry knows who it is. And my opponent is Eco Fritz. And let's remember, it's 9 rounds. I think the winning score is going to be very high. So if you want to win this, it'll probably be like 8.5, something crazy like that, because there's just so many players in the event. And so you can't really afford to lose games at this stage. My opponent's playing very sensible at the moment. Very sensible, normal moves. Now, let's see how the game goes. Okay. Now, I've just got to work out. If I go knight d7, he moves his knight. I take. He takes here. That's going to get quite complicated. So I'm going to just get rid of this one actually first. So do we know who I'm playing, Jerry?
Yeah, you're playing Joshua Redmond from Enniscorthy. He's in my mind, he's a junior because, but I haven't met him in a few years. I'm sure he's no longer a junior. He's about 17 or 18. 17 or 18.
Okay. Right. So we've got Dutch defence on the board, and I've got my bishop to this square. I'm just going to try to finish my development if I can. And yeah. So who are you going to try to get for next year, Jerry?
Oh, good question. We're definitely going to try and get Wesley to come back.
Wesley So, right?
Yeah, Wesley. Yeah, he visited us in 2015, and we'd love to get him back.
Yeah.
But you know, we just keep on trying new players. We'd like to mix it up a bit.
So Wesley So has played in Bumratty, and he did win it that year, didn't he? Is that right?
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And what other big names have you had playing in Bumratty?
Well, obviously Peter's Fiddler is probably. At the time he played, I think he was number 5 in the world, so he was probably at his height. So he was probably our biggest at the time, certainly. At the time he played as well as Sergei Tiviakov was a guest of ours. He was very highly rated.
So, but did Sergei? So Tiviakov did win Bumratty one year, but he didn't get invited back. Is that right, Jerry?
Well, he didn't get invited back until 2018. He actually did come back a second time.
Okay.
Let's just say he's not really Bunratty material. Can I put it like that?
So what do you mean by that? So what do you mean by Tiviakov, who's a very strong grandmaster?
He wasn't seen in the bar very much.
Okay.
And he wasn't socialising enough.
So he just came to do a smash and grab with the money.
Yeah, well, not necessarily with the money. He just took it as a serious event. He actually wondered why we weren't FIDE rated.
Oh, really? Oh, bloody hell! And one of the great things about Bumratty is that it's not FIDE rated, so it doesn't matter how you get on, and it's just a really real fun social event. So if you want to play, you know, like, and that's why we're having a drink today and enjoying it a little bit. If you want to play in a light-hearted manner, enjoy yourself, then Bumratty is the tournament for you. a bit. I mean, I've never Irish tournaments were just quite a crazy thing, Jerry. I've never, my first time in Ireland was like, bloody hell, this is like, I've never seen chess tournaments like this before. As in, like I used to, in England, you played in schools where you couldn't, and you don't, obviously during, when you're playing the game, it's serious. You can't chat and stuff like that, of course. But it's normally crappy venues in England where it's quite boring school in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing going on. You might be able to get a cup of coffee if you're lucky in between the games. But is that what Bumratty's like? Where's the venue in Bumratty?
Oh, the venue in Bunratty is a beautiful Bunratty Castle Hotel, and it's 4-star. It's lovely, quiet, and it's got a great bar that doesn't close very often.
Yeah, the bar basically stays open as long as you want. So there has,
as long as you've got customers, they'll stay open.
That's right. And it has been known, Jerry, I think it's fair to say that some people have actually stayed in the bar all the way to the game the next day, right?
That's happened more than once, definitely, absolutely. Yes.
More than once. Okay, well, while I'm talking, my opponent's doing a very good job of blocking the position up, and I'm not sure how easy it is to break through here, so I'm trying to make some progress on the king side, and it seems that now, this is why I haven't paced myself up as being one of the favourites for the event. Definitely not, because it's going to be hard when commentating as well, but it seems like I'm making a little bit of progress now. I've got one open file. My opponent, though, is playing some good moves at the moment. And
I just want to encourage you by letting you know there's a couple of GMs have already scored wins. Wayne Jones, Joel Benjamin. They're already after winning their first games.
You don't see Joel Benjamin playing much. How did you get it? So, Joel, tell us about Joel.
Joel played twice, 2005 and 2007, I think. He came over with John Fedorovich. That was great fun. Actually, there's a great story I should tell about Joel Benjamin's first attempt at Bunratty. He won it the second time, the year after you played Joel, but his first attempt wasn't quite as successful.
So tell us about it, Jerry. So the first time that Joel played, I remember the first time I played in Bunratty like 16 years ago. I did go into Kilkenny town with Fedorovich, who looks a bit like Sylvester Stallone at the time.
He does. Yeah. There's a photograph of him at Bunratty in your folder there that I sent you earlier on. But what happened was
American Grandmaster.
Yes, absolutely. But on the Sunday morning round, Joel lost to Philip Short. No relation to Nigel, but Philip was an Irish FM, rating of around 2250, 2300, and he beat Joel Benjamin. And so I had lunch with Joel on the Sunday, and I said, Joel, how does just super GM like yourself lose to an Irish FM? He said, I know. He said, it's amazing. He said, I can't even use the excuse, he said, that I was drinking till 4 a.m. I said, why not? That sounds perfectly reasonable to me. I can't. He says, no, Philip was with me.
So he was drinking until 4 a.m, but his opponent was as well.
Yes.
But I'm getting older now. I'm 41, and the first time I won it, like say, I was in my early 20s, and you could stay up longer. But it's amazing atmosphere in the bar. So I managed to win the first one, get in there.
Well done, Simon. Yeah, well done.
Thank you. It's only going to get harder as we go on, of course. But solid start. And it really is a great atmosphere, and I can't hack the. I actually go to bed quite a bit earlier nowadays, and I think I had one late night last time, but I think Blair's got the record, right? Our friend Blair, who started streaming today, he's doing it in Good Jesters tournament, and Blair, he's about FM strength. Blair, I think he said he we flew over on the Thursday and we left on the Monday, and I think he said he got 7 hours sleep for the whole event, Jerry, which is like, he was averaging like 1-2 hours a night, and I don't know how he could do that. It's just insane,
That is amazing. Was that the year he came with a broken wrist as well?
He did, yeah. He came with a broken wrist. I think he was on some quite insane painkillers, and he basically he managed to win it. So Okay, so I'll tell you what. Trent Toast, Lawrence Trent. Hello, Lawrence. Lawrence, let's sub Lawrence to this channel. He should be a sub. Let's give him a sub to this channel. Trent Toast is Lawrence Trent, and he said he blundered in the first round. So did Lawrence lose? Let's have a look. Well, it might mean he gets an easier run now, and okay.
The Swiss Gambit.
The Swiss Gambit, or not very wise in this tournament, I feel. God, I'm scrolling down a long way to find Lawrence. Yay, Bjorn, you see, our good friend, won. That's good. Yeah, God, I'm still scrolling down to find Lawrence. This is Vincent Kmart is still playing, maybe. How'd you get on, Lawrence? Did Lawrence win? Let's see. Thank you, Ted. Hello, Ted. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good time. Ted is in the chat as well. Ted is another driving force behind the Bumratty tournament. So who else have we got to thank for Bumratty, Jerry? Let's name some names.
Well, obviously Gary O'Grady. The tournament would have died a death in 2000. 2010 would have been the last Bunratty only for Gary.
Right. Okay.
So he overheard a conversation at the bar between myself and a couple of the other lads, how it was costing us money to run it. Basically, and his company, Blackthorn Transport, stepped in and basically, well, what he did was he guaranteed we wouldn't have to dip into our own pockets, which gave us the impetus to go on to do better things. That was, so fantastic sport.
Great. Okay, well, we're straight into round 2, so it's going to be quite a quick, fast, and intense tournament.
You've got Jan Heinrich.
I have. Now I know Codders keeps getting timed out. I hope I see Darren's. Maybe you can give him some kind of way that he can post his books on the thing. I'm going for the wing gambit here because I've just done my course on. Let me just think. I've got to remember my last course, Grandmaster Gambits of Chessball, is on sale, and this is the line I give against the Sicilian. But I have to just remember the theory. Sometimes it's not easy, Jerry. Remembering the theory, right? But I quite okay. Now, Codders, if you just wait until this game is over, I will try to sort that out. If you just wait. But obviously, I'd love to win this tournament. There's 9 rounds, and who's my opponent then? Jan Henrik from. Jan
Heinrich. Jan lived in Ireland for many years and played with the Charleville Chess Club and played in the Munster leagues regularly. And he's about over the board play. He's about 1900, maybe just under 2000, that kind of thing. I'm not sure what his rating is on chess.com. I can't see it.
So he's got 1883 on chess.com.
Okay, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. I would imagine. So he's not to be taken too lightly, Simon.
No, I'm not taking him lightly. I mean, the only thing I'm actually playing here, again, we're following my Gambits course. I've given up a pawn, but I'm trying to get some very dangerous pressure. So now I'm thinking, do I play d5 or do I go bishop f4 to keep the pressure up? Both of them create threats. Bishop f4, I create my knight coming in there, but d5, I attack his knight. And d5 to me is looking a little bit more interesting at this moment in time, but maybe bishop f4 was okay. So the point of my play is now I'm going to try to play bishop f4. So I'm developing a piece. I'm going to attack that one, and if he moves the knight, my knight comes in here. So you can see this Grandmaster Gambits course, guys. There is a link, hopefully, that's coming up in the chat. It is on sale at the moment. Okay, so now I can definitely consider taking and bringing the queen over to h4. But I've got a lot of tempting moves here, like knight d4. I don't think my knight is doing a great deal there. So I'm going to try to play with as much tempo as I can. This one gains the tempo on the bishop. And another problem my opponent has is this diagonal towards his king. So I'm trying to get the bishop over to b5 here as well. Okay, so now I can definitely consider taking and win my pawn back like this. But we've also got weird moves like knight. Okay. Knight here looks a lot of fun. Crazy position, this one, which you kind of expect when I'm playing, I guess, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take here. We're going to try and keep the attack going. Now, there's a funny line. If he takes here, I could go bishop d3, threatening checkmate. But we're going to go straight in because he can defend against that one. He's only got one move, and I get my pawn back now. And I'm hoping I can keep the pressure up on his position, and I'm going to keep coming forwards. But actually now I'm thinking maybe that's not the best move. But I'm keeping the threats going, as in knight c7 is a threat, and if he takes it, my eventual idea is to try to get a bishop to b5 to get to his king. So bishop takes, pawn takes, and I'm then have a big threat. Other things I can think of, get my last piece into the game like this to f7, and if he doesn't take my knight, well, I will just simply win there. So okay, so now he can. He's playing well, he's defending well, and this is a very good move actually. And this is kind of what I was worried about, because he's getting ready to castle. So I'm going to have to give him a check. But if I go knight here, he can now move his knight. So I'm a little bit of danger here actually. A little bit of danger. So I'm going to have to play this move and hope he doesn't have a good knight jump in the position. Now, Jerry, you are allowed to drink while I'm talking about things. You know, get the Bumratty spirit in, get your beers in. I've got a white Russian now, so we're going to do this. But this hasn't gone up, I must be honest, completely the way I wanted it to, because I'm worried about this bishop. The reason I put my knight here is I feel like I've got to defend my pawn on c3. And my opponent, okay, now he's trying to get the queens off, which is a little bit disappointing. Do I have rook takes a7? Queen takes queen, rook takes here, knight e8, rook e8. Rook takes a7 is kind of interesting. But this is one I've got to calculate, because it could just be losing as well. Rook takes a7, is that working? And if queen take, okay, he's going to have to play rook d8, but then at least I win a pawn. Should we go for it? I hope I've calculated this right. This is one of those moves where you're like, oh shit, I miscalculated. Okay, we're going to go for it. Oh, he saw it. Is he listening to the stream is my next concern. Okay, well I think I'm going to have to swap the queens off. Oh, I got queens. Oh no, oh. He's got his own ideas coming. We've got to get rid of that queen now. He can't take the rook because he's back rank. So he has to take with his knight. And I'm at least now a pawn up. And I'm probably just going to castle now, because I'm a safe pawn up at this moment in time. And if he takes here, everything gets swapped off. But one of the problems is his king and his rook on h8. So I'm feeling a lot more comfortable now. A lot more comfortable. Rook a7 was a fun move to play. Maybe the alcohol's I've got my good alcohol level, Jerry. Do you think there's a premium alcohol level, Jerry, for playing?
Absolutely. There's an alcohol level that dulls the nerves.
There is indeed.
Yeah, but if you go too high, then it doesn't work
so well. This is still very hard to win, because he's going to get his king out now, and he's very solid, and I'm taking too much time. If I start throwing these pawns forwards, it's very risky. So one of my problems is I'm very slow, but we do get 2 seconds increment, right, Jerry?
Yes, 2 seconds increment.
Oof. And if all the rooks come off, it will be a draw. So that's also something. So this is actually very hard to win. Very hard to win. He's got a very compact position now, and I'm gonna have to swap off one pair of rooks, but I can't afford to swap off another pair of rooks. And yeah, this is not easy position to win at all. Can I win this one? Well, the time is low as well, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this one. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm trying to get my bishop to f7, so my rook has a way to g8. And then I'm going to try to target these pawns. These are the pawns I'm going for. Okay, so he's stopping that. And I've got to think of another way to try and win, which is a bit frustrating. Maybe I'm going to have to try this one. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I don't want to lose that pawn. Okay, so now he's making more exchanges, getting closer to a draw. But I'm not sure about his last one, because it gives me the option of playing f4 here. We can see most of the big guys are on 2 out of 2.
Yes, I was just about to say that to you.
So my idea, I'm going to win this pawn now, so that's 2 pawns. But again, it's still, funnily enough, not that easy. Oh, why didn't I take there? I should. Okay. Woof. Woof. I had a second chance to do it. Come on, Eddie the Eagle. Land your skis. So, okay. Whoa. That was a little bit tough, that one. That was a little bit tough.
Jan gave you a good game there. Fair play, Jan.
What he did, didn't he? Yeah, very, very tough game. So, Gary in the chat is saying, Jerry, when can I have my buy? Gary normally gets a buy in Bumratty, so...
yeah, his beer buy.
His beer buy, and we'll talk about that in a second. I'll just show the one in the games happen so quickly. Maybe you can tell the story when Gary's phone rung. So that was quite funny. And I'll just, while we do that, keep an eye on the scores here, guys. If you do want to have a look at the live tournament chess.com, let me post a link here. There is a link, so you can, if you want to see certain player. But tell us about that story, Jerry, because Gary, one of the main tournament sponsors with his company, Blackthorn, he often, so there's one game, it's a really hectic schedule, one game Friday evening, 3 games of chess on Saturday, which is a killer, 2 on Sunday, and Gary doesn't really get up for the Sunday morning games often, does he?
Well, he struggles. Let's put it that way. He struggles.
Yeah.
He struggles. It's quite difficult. Not just Gary now, but in fairness, he's famous for not quite making the Sunday morning first round, which begins at 9:15 a.m. So this particular year, and I can't remember which year it was. I think it was 15, 16. Gary had told us, give me a shout on the phone the night before if I'm going to be too late for the round, and so come 9:26, 9:27, there was still no sign of Gary. Anyway, game start and you get half an hour to get to your game, and there's still no sign of him. So obviously the arbiters are not allowed to ring the player, but that was gotten around in Bunratty style, and when a friend was summoned and asked, could you ring Gary O'Grady to make sure he getting up and get to the board? That was fine. So this person goes out of the room, finds a mobile phone, rings Gary, but unbeknownst to that person, Gary had made it to the board just in time to play his move, but he'd forgotten to turn off his phone. So as the person rings him, his phone goes off while he's playing a game, and the rules in chess, that's it, you lose the game if your phone goes off. So he got defaulted.
I thought that was a great story. So the one time where the arbiters ring him to help him, or someone rings him to help him get out of bed,
Yes.
because he's got it's a 9:30 game. And normally, like I say, on the bar, lots of people just don't turn up for the game. I'll be honest, especially if the tournament's going badly. Or I've had it a couple of times where someone's knocked on my door and I've been like in this drunken stupor, and you've got 1 minute to get to the board or you're defaulted, and I've been like, oh. So I literally run down with my pajamas on, play a move, and then grab some breakfast and get changed.
Didn't you just about get to the board against Gawain one Sunday morning a couple of years back?
I was playing Gawain and we were both on, I think, maybe 4 out of 4, or Gawain Jones. And Gawain, fantastic player, European blitz champion. And we're on 4 out of 4. And I made it to the board, I think, with like 30 seconds to go. I just overslept. It's very easy to do in Bumratty. Okay, so they're going to get a bit tougher, obviously. Now, they've been tough already. That's what I'm kind of worried about the games. I haven't made them easy. By any means, and I'm playing the Soda Bread man, a CM from Ireland. So, who have we got here?
You've got Peter Cafola. You've probably met Peter a few times at Bumratty.
I have. I've met Peter a couple of times. I think I drew with him in the last round of Bumratty one year.
Right.
A quick draw, so he could get ready for the Blitz event.
The main event, as some people call it. Yes.
Tell us about the Blitz event. So, there's the main tournament which you can play in, the social tournament, and then on the Sunday evening they have this brilliant event, Jerry. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's basically we just get as many of the title players as possible to come into the room, and we give them their own group of maybe 5 or 6 players, and maybe a total of 50 or 60 players in the room. We might have 10, 12 groups of leading, most of them are led by GMs or IMs or something, and they all play a little match, a little league where they all play And sometimes some groups decide to make it 360. It's fun. It's just absolute fun and mayhem. And it's not quiet. And the bar is open and people just have a good time while they play blitz. And then the winners come out of each group, usually the top players, but not always. I do remember one year when I think Paul Carey came out of his group ahead of the Grandmaster that won't be mentioned. And
was that
no, it wasn't due. No.
You sure?
It was I'm sure it wasn't. No, it wasn't due. I'm pretty sure this guy wears a cowboy hat occasionally.
Right.
So
we might have seen him earlier.
you might have, yeah, you might have. And then we have quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals. So
right.
It's great fun. It usually ends up around midnight or thereabouts, but it doesn't. That's the official competition might end then, but the chess playing and banter goes on a bit longer.
Well, Jerry, I'm the official reigning blitz champion of Bumratty. Is that not correct? So I should be favourite for this event. Yeah, I mean I won it last year, right? So
yeah, you did, and you're usually thereabouts. I think. Come on,
usually in the final. I think I've been in the final the last quite a serious amount of time now.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think pretty sure Miss Luke needed to go to Armageddon to beat you.
Yeah, and Svidler, I was against Svidler in the final one year, and
that was a great final. That was 2008. That was a great final.
2008. Yeah. I nearly did the
Yeah.
But you know, when I won it one year, when I won the actual event, it was great fun because you have to have one winner in Bumratty. So if you share first place, you have to have a playoff with everyone drunk, watching, cheering like a sports event. It's really brilliant. And I can remember I beat Baborin to go through, but then I think I don't know if it's this year. I can't even remember, Jerry, who I beat.
Craig Handley.
Craig Handley. Oh, I think it was Spillman, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just actually, you're right. Spillman beat Craig Handley, is it? And maybe,
So maybe I swindled Spillman to win it one year. Even I don't know. It was tough. Yeah. Right. So the White Russian is one of our favourite drinks. I think it's what Fiona and Blair are also drinking at the moment. Vodka, milk, and Kahlua, just for Bumratty. To be sure. How's my Irish accent, Jerry?
Absolutely awful. Only Lawrence Trent has a worse Irish accent.
To be sure, Jerry. To be sure.
That's okay. We'll leave that go. We had a bit of a Zoom call last night. The organisers, and Blair joined us as well, and he was
smashed.
No, I was going to say he was drinking the White Russians too.
Right. Now another very tough game here. I probably should have gone knight g4 at some stage, but my opponent's kept it very solid, and this is kind of like a position where these pawns could be quite weak if he gets a hold on the dark squares here. So I've got to watch out for him getting some kind of grip on those squares, and I'm just trying to work out what my plan is. I don't really have a plan, to be honest. I mean, I might. Okay, so he's got a plan. That's not nice when your opponent's got one. But actually, I'm happy if my opponent takes the queens off, because that will improve my pawn structure. So maybe this aggressive move is going the wrong way, because I can always eliminate them, and I think I can safely play h6. Maybe I could have played h6 last move as well. But I'm just getting my pieces to the best squares as we go. So I'm thinking now I could even try breaking with this e5 move. Is it time to do this? And I think we're going to give it a go. Again, a little bit of calculation needed, but I am pinning. If he takes the queen, my pawns come together right now. And I think this might be very strong. Oh, he's got check here, takes king here, and he's somehow surviving that one. Which, okay, so I can't see a win there. It seems like this should be a win. Rook takes, queen takes, rook takes e1, king f2. I can't see a win. So I'm going to play knight takes, keeping some threats with my knight. So keeping some ideas like this. Maybe I was winning with rook takes, but then taking here. But then after king f2, I have a lot of things on pre. So that's why I'm playing knight takes at the moment. And my opponent defending extremely well.
Queen has just gone to 3 out of 3.
As expected.
Yeah.
And we're going to get another tough sort of ending I expect he goes knight f3. Now I've got to decide, do I take the bishop off, go for the bishops? I think I'm going to damage his pawns and play this way. And not an easy position. Let's try to get the knight to a much better square, f4. I can sink my knight on that square, but I've just realised I've got to be very careful here. I won't give anything away. Yeah, if I go rook takes, he has bishop here. Bugger. Now I don't really want to take with the bishop, but I don't want to allow bishop g6. So I'm trying to get my knight into f4. Key idea. Okay, so let's get the knight in there. Gawain, by the way, the legendary Gawain, who's European Blitz champion, bloody good, is telling a bit of a story about that game, which I probably don't have time to read now. I'm too slow. I'm too slow in these ones. Okay, so I'm happy with the way this is going. All my pieces look nice. I'm just trying to stop my opponent getting his pieces to good squares, and this check seems very logical. And now I can even push this one back and win this pawn at the right moment. I think I'm going to push this one back first, because I can have some ideas of trying to win a piece with h4, but then king g2. So I'm going to keep it just nice and simple, because he can't go rook b1 because my bishop's so strong. At the end of the day, a pawn is a pawn is a pawn. As they say in Ireland, a pawn is a pawn and a piece is a piece, Jerry. A piece is a piece, Jerry. And I have a toast. I have a toast to White Russian for that, Jerry. As they say in Ireland.
Yes.
Okay.
Well done, Simon. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Gawain is also on 3 out of 3 and just been joined by Howlitzer 14, of course, who is David Howell. Luke McShane has just joined him.
Yeah.
So you can see there's quite a.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's 9 rounds, and because the field is so big, I see. Interestingly, let's have a look at who's dropped some points. We can see that Vincent Kamor, who's this really.
Yes.
I mean, he's like potentially.
He's on 2 now.
He's a future world champion potential. He's played Carlsen and gave Carlsen a lot of trouble recently. He's only on 2.5, so he's like, you know, struggling. But the thing is, Jerry, I've been thinking about this tournament. It's 9 rounds deep. And it's a big field, so I think the winning score is going to be like at least 8.5, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's 9 out of 9, because there's so many players, right? I think it'll be a very. What do you think the winning score will be, Jerry?
8.
8. Pawn speed 8. You think it'll be 8? Okay.
One of these on it. One of these on 8. Okay.
Okay, I'll put one of these. My White Russian on 8.5. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Pornsby Wild Jerry is saying, I'm Irish. I love you, Simon, but your accent is making my buttocks spasm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with him on that one. I see Blair has also got a 2.5.
Blair is okay. Now let's just see. So what I'm going to do, now Codders, I'm going to just make you a mod, if I can, so you can post your odds. Now Codders, who's in the chat, is actually professional bookies, pretty much. I don't know if that's true, but I get that opinion. And he's done a book on the tournament. So if you keep an eye on the Twitch chat as well, Jerry, you'll be able to see what odds he's given to the players as the games are going on, which I think is quite interesting to see. I've actually got, and I hope Gawain's not listening, because I kind of regretted this after, because I sort of did know Gawain's 10-1, and Gawain is probably the best bet in the field at £10 at 10-1. So my 2 favourites, David is 5-2, and I did put a tenner on David, and I was thinking I wanted to put a tenner on David. I put 25 on David because of the odds, but I wanted to put money on Gawain as well, but I thought let's just not make it complicated. So I'm sorry, Gawain, you are one of my favourites. No dishing anyone else. We've got Mickey out. We've got loads of legends there, but
yeah. Well, actually, I was actually tempted to put money on David Howell as well, but David actually is the one who convinced me that my money would be better spent elsewhere.
But the thing is with David, and David is the top seed, Howitzer, David Howe, Grandmaster, incredibly. I mean, him and David, incredibly amazing. Luke McShane, I haven't even mentioned Luke McShane. Luke McShane is incredible as well. I mean, it could go a lot of ways. It's really quite open, I think. You're going on. you didn't decide to bet on me, Jerry, this tournament.
Funnily enough, Simon, no, I didn't.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, well, of course it's because you're trying to play and stream and chat at the same time. So I think that was my main reason for not choosing you as the top seed. Did you like that?
One thing I've learned about the Irish is that they are so diplomatic. I found this, like, you know, every Irishman I've met in Bumratty just incredibly diplomatic. Is that kind of fair to say? I mean, we've got bloody Boris Johnson, and you've got the gift of the gab over there. It is like, people do say the Irish have got the gift of the gab. They bloody do. They really do. I mean, without a shadow of that. And you just used your gift of the gab there, Jerry, to you know. So.
This guy Vincent Keimer, I know I've heard a little bit about him before. Is he only 14 years old or something?
I think he's a bit older now. You're probably thinking when you heard about him, might be 14, but that might be like a good 3 years ago. Vincent's I don't know how old he is. Maybe someone in the chat can have a look. But Vincent is a German player, extremely talented, very very strong. I see Blair's on 2.5 as well.
He is.
I see Richard Pert lost a game. He's only on 2. But I think most of the Grandmasters, well, Bjorn, who we had that picture of, let's just see, we'll bring up the picture. Where is Bjorn? There's lots of pictures to show. Which one's Bjorn? There's Bjorn. Okay, we're in with a game. Back to concentrating. And I'm playing Sam Collins. Bloody hell. I'm playing Sam. I think that must be Sam Collins. Why is his rating so low on this? That's not fair. This is a big game. Sam is an incredibly tough player, so this is one I might be talking a little bit less in. I've got to continue my Grandmaster Gambits repertoire, which he probably doesn't know anything about. He doesn't know that I've even done it. Sam's a lawyer from Ireland, and he's been tipped as being Ireland's first homeborn Grandmaster. And Jerry, you can talk a little bit about Sam, and I'll try to concentrate on remembering stuff here. The White Russian's kicking in.
I remember Sam's first Bunratty Masters, and I say I remember it, but I'm pretty sure it was in the year 2000. But he was probably under 2000 in rating, and he actually beat Luke McShane.
Yeah, he's a really strong player. He's maybe even got higher reload than me at the moment, so this is going to be an incredibly tough game. And I've got to this point. I'm trying to now remember the theory of this, so I'm just going to have to bear with me while I try to recall my knowledge.
Yeah, he's actually got 3 GM norms. He just hasn't got his rating over 2500 yet. He's been very close, very close.
So this is literally where I'm trying to remember my theory. I think this is in the course. I think we decide this might be a little bit better for white. But it's a very double-edged position. I'm going to be a little bit quieter here because I'll have a sip of the vodka instead. Because this is a big game. It's a big game. And my initial threat here is to come into S7, but I'm going to try to win that pawn back. But I do remember in the course there was some point where we found Rook B1 and B4 to be a good idea. And I was just thinking, was that in the last position? Just to start an attack against the king over there. So that was the other way I could have considered playing this. But Knight G5 looks quite natural. Just to try and come in, and I have maybe Queen coming over here. Now I don't feel he's going to take that pawn at any point. If he takes that pawn, I'm laughing, because opposite side castling means crazy attacks. So Sam is now giving up the exchange, and that does ask the question, can I play this one, B4? Knight takes, Rook B1, D3. This is complicated. So I'm thinking here, Knight takes, Rook here, D3. And then he's threatening this, so it's very complicated. Which I don't know I like, actually. This D3 is quite an interesting little idea. Do I just take some safe measures against that? Not sure about this move, but I was a little bit worried about d3 and the release of things here. I can hear my own voice as well, which is even worse. Okay, so he's gone for this. And he's probably going to go rook f8 or something. But at least I can move my knight back. But then he's got knight d4, so and he's coming in also to this square, which I kind of missed, be honest. So queen g4 is what I want to play. Then this knight comes in here. So I might have to settle to actually retreat. So queen e2 was simply a mistake on my behalf, definitely. Far too passive. But I've got b4 to keep, and I've got my knight coming back, so it's still very complex. So I'm going to play this one. If he takes it, I'm going to go rook b1. And at least this will get him thinking. He can go knight f3 and take on f2, king here, take here, take here. And that gets, again, extremely complex situation. If he goes knight e2, I defend it. So the critical move, I suppose, is can he go knight f3? But I'm going to get a fair few pieces. If he moves his bishop back, I think he has to move his bishop back here. And then maybe my knight comes back to this square and the fight just goes on, basically. For example, if he goes bishop here, I don't really want to, I like my knight. My knight looks quite good on e4. And I'm going to try to do this. So I have to check this in my course. This isn't the Grandmaster Gambits course. Okay, so I can't take on e6 because he will take everything, take on h2, winning material. But rather than go knight e4 immediately, well, there might be some tricks here. And this is where, again, you need to calculate with some knight move and coming down here. But I can't see it. Like here, knight b4. Okay, I'm going to play this move. This looks sensible because he did have some weird ideas. A knight b3, queen takes here, and queen takes d2. So I'm going to try and defend this one while he increases the pressure there. And now bishop here, also very interesting move to play. And this one and a5 are sort of shouting out at the moment. So let's continue with a5. Time is getting quite key here as well. He's trying to get his queen around. So just gonna over defender, and okay, I've got to move quicker now. Let's just go for it. Now he can take on b5, but I'm just hoping to open up some lines. Okay, we'll flick this one in first, maybe. Very complicated. Okay, Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy. What the hell was that move? I don't know, but I had to play it. Yeah, I missed this move. I think that's game over, guys. Unfortunately, I fluffed it up. I must have been winning that one. But I just missed that very good defensive move that Sam had there. and he's playing also good moves. So, oh, my rook's on pre as well. Okay, well it was losing. Oh well, that's disappointing. I'm gonna have a quick look at that. I must have been winning that game, but I just, yeah, I didn't quite get it. I might be time for another drink.
Oh, that was exciting to watch, though, Simon. And
that's an exciting game.
Exciting. Yeah.
Well done, Sam. Of course, he played well, but I did miss a lot of opportunities there. Let's have a look. Just see where I went wrong. Look at our accuracy levels, and I missed. You can see around this point here. This is where I'm definitely winning, and this is where I was a little bit short of time, and I must have. I was going to play Queen B7 was my first thought. Was that winning move? Okay. I don't know. I don't really understand. Okay, we'll try to. Okay, so this was a horrendous move. So, just knight c5, of course. Why didn't I just play knight c5? That was much better. That's what I was trying to play the whole time. I can't play shorter time. I've got myself too short time. I went for the check here, thinking I could go knight c5, but had I just played knight c5 first, of course, it's completely over. I just, some reason, missed the simple move, and obviously missing simple moves like that, I'm not going to win the tournament. Anyway, that is the way it goes. So, dear Jerry. Dear Jerry. It went wrong there, Jerry.
I'm afraid so. But, you know, Paul Carey just beat Fiona, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I should probably give a shout out to the lads in Germany. They're got together watching on a big TV. Sven, Janis, and Uwe. So big shout out to you guys. Uwe joined us on our little Zoom chat last night.
Okay, cool. And so how was Blair on the Zoom call last night? Was he all right?
Oh, he was fine. He was worried about his streaming cherry.
Right. Yes. Yes. So Blair is actually streaming for the first time today. Well, Mickey lost as well there, so I wasn't the only one to lose. Luke Machine lost. Keith Arkyle lost. So there may still be a glimmer of hope, Jerry, at the end of the tunnel. Maybe. And yeah, well, this is Blair Connell. Ushko's on 3.5 at the moment. So who's at the top? Do we know who? Okay, tell us who some of the players are. Who's Harry Prasad, Agent 007? Any idea?
Okay. Excuse me. I have a list of the players here.
Okay. David Howe. Amit Ghazi is a very strong blitz player as well. Very, very strong. I don't know.
Harry. Yeah, he's an Indian IM.
Is he?
He is. He's an Indian IM. I think he's done a bit of publicity for us on the Indian side of things, you know, whatever the Indian twitches.
Oh, Harry, right? Okay. Has he played in Bumratty before?
No, he's not. No,
okay.
No. There's a couple. We've given a few wild cards away here because we want to, you know, obviously spread the net of Bunratty.
Indeed. Right. Well, now I need a bit of a comeback because I thought the winning score was going to be 8.5, and I'm already dropped 1 point, so that's a little bit sad. I'm playing Alex King 44, so could that be Alex Baborin? Who could that be? And he's got half a point more than me.
It's not. It's not Alex Baborin. Alex Baborin doesn't play blitz.
Okay.
Alex 44. That's Alex Byrne. He's a young player from Cork. He's quite strong and very, very fast.
Well, he's going to have to be fast because he's already spent 30 seconds. Maybe he's gone to the bar, Jerry. Is he at the bar?
Yeah, he could be. He could very well be.
could be at the bar at this moment in time.
Wow.
Well, he says his internet's bad. I don't want to win like this. I really don't, but I will because it'll give me a chance to go and get another drink. So maybe. I mean, after my last game, I mean, he's got 10 seconds to move, but it seems like his internet's gone down. So which is.
That's a shame. Yeah. That really is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. But
somebody saying here in the chat that they like your Northern Ireland commentary.
I'm liking the Northern Irish commentary. I don't even know what Northern Irish commentary was. Okay, well we're in with the game now, and that's good. So obviously he's got a bit of a time disadvantage, but I'm not going to get short time because you saw how badly I play when short time in that last game, and I don't want to. I'm all right until I get short time, but missing that knight c5 was horrendous. So I'm just going to play. My opponent seems to know what he's doing here. I'm just playing a little hedgehog system, which I'll sometimes play because it avoids a lot of theory. I played this in the final at the Blitz in Bumratty too, and managed to beat old Alex Lopez with this.
I see he's taken a leaf out of your book and pushed Harry. And Harry?
He's winging me. He's winging me, Jerry. He's winging me. He's trying the wing attack. So, are you not a Guinness drinker then, Jerry? I thought all Irishmen drank Guinness.
The only good Guinness comes from a proper tap.
Aha. That sounds like someone who knows what he's talking about. The only good Guinness comes from a proper tap.
In a proper Irish pub.
I mean, yeah, it'd be nice when we can go back to these places again, won't it? So.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, the whole country is waiting for it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going G5. My opponent's closed it down over there. And, well, I guess I should castle at some point, but now I can see my opponent's plan. He just wants to checkmate me, which is a little bit naughty of him, I feel. Please,
really, yeah, it is really, isn't it?
Please don't checkmate me, sir. Please don't. What have I done to you? Okay, now let's see if we get checkmated or not. I hope not. I hope not. Obviously, I hope not. So, are you going to have any next year? How can people sort of get ready for coming over to Ireland next year? Because it'd be lovely if some of you guys who are watching this, and this is like we did get, funnily enough, a lot of people have come to Bumratty from watching streams. Like Bjorn came over from watching a stream.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely, yeah.
So it'd be lovely. And what should people do then to get ready for next year? Is it all the hotels all good and everything?
Yeah, it really does depend on the figures, doesn't it? It does depend on the public health figures over here and whether people, and not just here, but in the countries where they're coming from. So I think the best advice is just keep an eye on bunrattychess.com, and you know, if things are happening, that's where the news will be released.
The website looks like about 400 years out of date.
All comments like that can go to Ted Jennings, please.
There is a link to it in the chat. I'm only joking. We've got to wind each other up a little bit.
Ted, he's talking about you.
Okay, now I was actually quite scared of my opponent doing this, but I thought, what the hell, you know? Am I just getting... Oh dear. Now...
Is that a cutie pie?
Well, I think I could defend, but I'm kind of worried if I go here, Queen D3, Knight F6 might defend, but I'm more worried that it'll be a draw. So the only way I can see is stopping the draw is giving my queen up, but I can't. I don't know. It looks very dangerous anyway. Let's see. So Queen D3, Knight F6 seems to stop checkmate, but he can do this when I'm going to have to take some real risks if I want to win, and that's the problem, you know. I'm going to have to sack a queen or something, which I'll probably have to do because a draw is no good. Might as well lose if you're going to do anything. So he's thinking. So it does look, I mean, I have to say it does look very scary, and I would not be surprised if my opponent's winning somehow, but I'll let him work it out. I'll let him do the hard work, Jerry. Yeah. Let's just have another sip of drinking.
Yeah. And I'll tell a little John Nunn story in a minute when you're...
Is John playing in this at all?
No, John isn't playing. I don't think John plays much online chess, but no. But contrary to popular belief, John has a very good sense of humour.
He does.
Yeah,
Okay. So am I getting? I'm a bit worried. I'm just going to get mated here somehow. Okay, so this could be the way. He's going to take there and try to mate me. Okay, but it's my move, so let's not panic. I'm panicking, by the way. I'm really bloody panicking. He just wants to take here and mate me, which is really, really rude. Now, I could go c4, but I don't like that one. I could give up my queen, but that just looks like a pile of shite. Excuse my French. And... maybe this is okay. Rook f7 takes rook. Okay, this is the only way, and I'm really clutching my buttocks here somewhat. That I can see it defending. I'm not known for my defensive play, Jerry. You know, it's not.
What did I say? It's squeaky bum time here, I think, is it?
It's very squeaky bum time. If rook takes, bishop takes, and I'm just praying. Okay, so I might have survived the first wave, but he's got a lot of pieces still coming at me. Playing very, very good chess. Very good chess, my opponent. Okay, so right, squeaky bum time. Now, the problem is I don't have a good move here. And this is a real issue. I don't have much time either. Ah! Can't see a defense. Nice move my opponent played. Well, that is just not working what I played, but to try something. Because the bum is squeaking. The bum is still squeaking. It's squeaky bum time all over the shop. I really don't like defending. Oh, I have to play for a win. In we go. In like Errol. In like Errol Flynn.
Is there a light at the end of this tunnel?
There's always light somewhere. Okay. But we know how bad I am when I'm short of time, right? Can't play short time on the internet for some bizarre reason. But I seem to somehow, well, I was going to say I was over the worst, but I don't know if I am. Okay. Jesus, he's still pressurizing me somehow. It's amazing. My pawns are like dropping like flies. Problem is the initiative is so important in blitz, and he's got so many pawns here. It's not pleasant. He's quite quick. Okay, but at least I can
warn you about that.
Okay, well I've got Harry. Come on, son, get in there. Get in there, Harry. Come on, Harry. Make me proud, Harry. Because nothing else is here. Okay. Weird ending. I'm going to have to give this one up, but I've got no winning chances. And this is probably losing, I feel. Gonna need a miracle. What a stupid ending this is, though. I mean, God. Prepare yourself for another 400 moves. Oh my words. You don't often see an ending like this, do you?
Thanks be to God.
Two bishops versus a bishop. I mean, come on. You cannot be serious. He's offered me a draw, but obviously we're not doing a draw here. Okay, well we can't lose, but I don't think we're gonna. I actually had this ending once before, believe it or not.
Wow.
And it, yeah, I had it against Super Grandmaster Krasenkov, and it is a draw. But we have an extra piece. Right? How on earth do I win this one, though? Anyone know? I'm going to hold up the whole tournament with this loads of rubbish, Jerry.
Peter's Fiddler just texted me asking, was there a break in this tournament? I said, I wasn't sure, but this looks like it's going to create one.
Yeah, everyone can go and get yourself a drink now, people. Oh, I mean, there's 50 moves here, but I obviously desperately need to try and win this. I'm not even sure if I'm making any progress whatsoever here. I feel like I might be. His king is trapped. Trying to get him in the corner. But I mean, it's probably just, I think this is basically the most drawn position ever. It really is. But I mean, I've got to try, right? It would be. How do I even try though? Oh dear. I think I'm gonna have to concede here. I can't see. He's offering me a draw. Don't offer me a draw. It'll be a draw soon. Play it out. Play it out. I'm not really making any progress, so I don't know how I can make progress at all. So, okay, we'll have a draw, I'm sure. Pawnless bishop endings. This diagonal is the problem. And I can't... We're going to get 50 moves soon anyway. I can't check his king, this is the problem. Actually, the only way I can do it is by coming to e1, right? So this is my last chance, but I'm certainly running out of moves to do this. This one, I'm making progress now, as it might actually be winning, but I don't know if I ever... Oh, he comes that way, of course he does. I thought he had to come to the corner for a second. But... yeah, that was my last shot. One other chance is to check him over here, just to see if we can do that. But I think it's unlikely. Who decided on this increment rubbish, Jerry? The bloody increment should be to the death.
No, I love the increments. I can't play with it. I can't play 3 straight.
No,
I'm too old.
yeah, I know the feeling. Okay. Yeah, it's a very easy draw, this ending, to be fair. I thought I might have some chances at start because his king was in the corner, but not the way. No. And I can never get his king away from the square. It just can't happen. So a lot of people dropping points, Jerry, as well. If you look at scores, you've got a couple of guys. So this guy's 16. I wonder if I lose on time. If I actually, if I lose on time, do I?
I think you'll lose.
50 move rule. Stupid rules. Always hated the rules, Jerry. Peter Dog is telling me king in the corner is pretty hard to win as well. It looks like I'm straight into a game. I don't even have a chance to get a beer, Jerry. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's because you were the one holding up the whole show, Simon.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just giving people a chance to get a drink, Jerry. That's all. You know, as we know. Okay, right. So yeah, I think it looks to me like I probably can't win the tournament. So I'm going for 7.5 now. 7.5 would be a nice score to get. That's what we're aiming for. 7.5 out of 10, out of 9. So all the big guns. Well, actually, it's closing down now. There's only 5 people at the top on 5 out of 5, right?
Yeah, and you're playing a guy from Northern Ireland who you've met and had a few drinks with a number of times. You're playing the famous Damien Lavery. I'm
playing Damien. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I like Damien. Yeah.
Not Damien Cunningham. No, there's 2 Damiens, but I don't know whether you. It's 2 Damiens. It's Damien Lavery and Damien Cunningham. And
so Damien picked me up from the airport. Damien was used to be in the I believe the police in Northern Ireland. Is that the right Damien? Big guy. Big guy.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got the Damien Cunningham in mind, to be perfectly honest with you. The loud guy is Damien Cunningham.
Nice guy. He's massive guy.
Exactly. Yeah. That's Damien.
Can I get? I'm hoping. Why didn't you have a buy somewhere? I'm running out of drinks. Bloody hell, Jerry.
I asked
a really crappy organisation.
Actually, talk to Peter Douglas. I asked for a break.
Okay. I don't think it's set up so you can have a break, unfortunately.
It doesn't look like it. No,
It's
no,
not.
it doesn't look like it.
No.
Anyway, while you're thinking you're playing this game, I might tell my little story about John Nunn. I'm sure some of the viewers would appreciate it, and it concerns. I was in the Masters room setting up for the last round in 2002. Our local IM, Brian Kelly, but John wasn't sure of the rules as to who'd have white and who'd have black. So John came in. Jerry, do you mind if I ask what's the colours for the last round? I said, oh, John, you're black. I was afraid of that, he says. Young Brian Kelly is a pretty decent IM. And I, cocked up my chest saying, yeah, and his first chess tutors were myself and Paul Carey. Quick as a flash, he said, oh, he survived that pretty well.
That gave him a glimmer of hope, did it? Is Brian playing at this?
Well, he was registered. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I wondered, is he playing? I'd say he is.
So Brian played a lot of chess, but he
is. He's on 4.5. He's on 4 out of 5.
He's on 4 out of 5.
Yeah, he plays 24 at the moment. B Kelly 12 is our Brian.
Right. I didn't even see this move as possible. I'm actually seeing things now. I didn't even see that was possible. Okay, let's try this because it looks fun. Is that fun or is it just bad? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Oh my God!
I know, one of the two. So, Ted's saying, is that Ted? It might be Ted saying, tell the story about the lad who decided to sleep in the master's room. So yeah, we want to hear your stories now. Come on, Jerry. It's story time. Tell us your stories.
Oh my God,
I don't know, Uncle Jerry.
I don't know what year this was, but it's gone back a long time. We kind of do a sweep of the hall every time at night time before we lock up, because there's a lot of equipment in there, and you just don't want to. You want to make sure it's all securely locked up. So we were locking it up, and Fiona, Brian Scully's wife, Fiona said, the master's room, and the master's room now had the live boards and the cloths were going all the way down to the floor. Master's room, I think there's someone sleeping under the table.
What? Sorry, was this like, what time was this?
This was around. This was the Saturday night round, so it would have been the end of play. It would have been around 11:30, closing up, 12, right. Going on 12, and we were heading to the bar. But
and Blair's still with us. Yeah. Yeah.
No, this player definitely wasn't Blair, by the way.
Okay.
But we had a player trying to sleep. There was no room in the hotel, so
right.
He was trying to sleep under the. You're trying to get kept down for the night in the master's room under board 1.
Under board 1, but he could have picked a more refined board than that one. I mean, if you're going to do it in style, but I mean, board 1. So, what did he have a sleeping bag or anything, or like?
No. He just robbed a cushion off a local couch and just kept down.
Okay, so cushion down. And, can you? How strong was the player?
He would not have been in the Masters. He would have been in the top of the next section. So maybe 1950. So it's not someone you know. It's not someone you know.
It sounds like it might be.
Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. My opponent playing. Why is everyone playing so well against me, or am I just playing incredibly badly today? I think that White Russian has just hit me in the head. So the problem is, if I take here, he's got a cheeky check on e5, which is quite annoying. So can I castle, or will I get in trouble? I'll probably get in. What am I doing? What am I doing, guys, today? Okay, let's go d4. Quite a weird game. So, did you ask him to move, or like?
Oh yeah, we had to get him to clear out. I don't know where he stayed that night, and I figured it probably wasn't my problem.
No, okay. There's quite a lot of stories of chess players. I mean, I remember the Hastings tournament. There was a famous story of international master who used to sleep in the public toilets there most years. So he found the public toilets, and he got a nice cubicle. Probably the disabled cubicle, clearly the best one if you're going to have a sleep. and he set himself up there most nights to have a little bit of a kip. Yeah, I mean, you must have many funny Bumratty stories, right?
I have many funny, but and not just Bunratty. I was recalling once last night even. I was recalling to the very first time myself and Ted both did the Olympiad together as arbiters was in Tromsø in 2014.
Jerry, by the way, you tell the story. I'm going to run and get a beer. If my
Yeah.
time, okay, you know, I've got to go and get a beer. Otherwise, it's not Bumratty. Okay, I'll be back. You can keep telling stories, Jerry.
I'll tell the story about myself and Ted at the Tromsø Olympiad. 2014 Tromsø Olympiad, Northern Norway. We got into the habit of every day going to our respective matches, setting up the boards, making sure everything's okay, and then going to the coffee station to just to catch up and to discuss which matches we had. And this particular match, Ted turns around to me and says, "I've got a very strong player on one of my boards." He said, "It's a fella, I can't remember his name, but his rating is 2802. I said, "What? 2802? Yeah." I said, "What match have you got?" Italy versus South Africa. "Oh my God," I said, "you've got Fabiana Caruana." And Ted says, "Who?" He doesn't keep up to date with it. It didn't matter to Ted how strong the players were, and he doesn't keep up to date with who they were. But at the time, Fabiana was playing for Italy. So I thought that was a bit of a yeah. So let's have a look at the scores. Peter's Fiddler is on 6 out of 6 so far. He's the only one on 6 out of 6. Oh, it looks like David Howell has dropped. Oh no, he's not. Sorry, he's on 5 out of 5, so he's still playing, obviously. As is Gwaine Jones. As is Amit. I want to try and find some of my buddies and see what they're doing. Oh, I think maybe there's still a lot of games going on at the moment, Simon.
Oh right, okay. Let's have a look. Gwaine is playing David, so let's just go to that game. This is a massive game. This is the game between. I was going to say, apart from obviously, there's lots of good players. Peter's Fiddler, we know Peter's Fiddler is like amazing and probably one of the favourites. Well, the favourite to win this one. But I'm going to pick the English guys, and you got the two big guys, right? On 5 out of 5, and they're fighting out in this game. So David. Seems to be well. Okay, let's have a look. I mean, this one. Who's better? I'm trying to work out who's better here. You look at the two bishops and you think Gwaine has the two bishops, but then it's quite clear that David can now draw immediately by going to opposite card bishops. So if anyone's pressing for a win here, it is David. It is David. It is David. Yeah. Okay, they had a draw. I think it was looking like a draw there. A solid draw at the top there. So there's only one person on 6 out of 6, and we did have a little bet. You bet on Peter's Fiddler, and he's leading. He's leading at the moment.
I did. I bet on Peter's Fiddler. With a long way to go yet, but it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
So we can look at the scores, and there's 3 rounds to go. So personally for me to do well, I need to get 3 out of 3. Which obviously I'll try to do. I'm a 1.5 off the leader. 3 out of 3. I'll finish in a nice position. You've got lots of good players. Chris Baker up there. Mickey Adams has dropped a point. Amit Ghazi is on. Amit Ghazi could be joining Peter's Fiddler. Amit Ghazi is a blitz specialist. Do you know? Have you heard of Amit? This is a big game.
Yeah,
he's beaten Kamor here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His real world rating is, he's over the board rating is about 2350, but he is a blitz specialist, isn't he?
He's a blitz specialist, and he's won a lot of these. We had this tournament often on Sunday where you have like Fiddler playing, David Howell, most of the players here playing, and Amit's won that a couple of times actually. So he's actually not a bad bet. Peter, hello again, Peter Doggers. Hope you're all doing all right. And saying he bet on a 9 out of 9 to win the competition. Which I still think is very possible. I mean, I think Black will Is black going to win this one? Yeah, black should win this one eventually. But I say that now and I'm thinking how. Obviously, I'm an endgame master grinding down that last one. 2 bishops versus the bishops. When Peter actually pointed out, even if you get the king into the corner, it's a dead draw because you can never get the bishop on the diagonal. That's a nice point. So Gary's asking, who's better at pool, Svidler or you, Jerry? This is the game of pool.
Oh, the game of pool. Okay.
Yeah, the game of pool.
Yeah, myself and Peter Svidler played many games of pool a long time ago. I think it was Olympiad in 2000 in Istanbul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Modesty prevents me from telling you the score.
So you won.
I think that probably just.
I used to play pool for my university team. I reckon I can have you at a game of pool, Jerry.
Oh.
I reckon I could take you down at pool. I can clear up off the break. Has been
I've done that in competition 11 or 12 times.
11 or 12 times in okay. By the way, it does to me now look like Vincent's the only person who can win this ending. Probably going to be a draw because this rook will have to get. I mean, I guess so. But the thing is, the rook's pawn against a knight is really. Yeah, of course, this should be a draw now.
Yeah. But I'd just like to point out, and in the interest of fairness, that I wouldn't be able to play pool like that now. I'm afraid the eyesight is not what it used to be.
I'd love to have a game pool against you, though, Jerry.
Oh yeah, so would I.
Next time we're over, maybe you can take me to a pub in Limerick and we can have a little game of pool. Because I'm playing. You know who I'm playing now? I'm playing Blair. Out of
lovely!
Out of everyone, I wanted to, like Blair.
This is the game. Okay, great stuff.
This is the game. Okay, so right, he's going to do the exchange French if he goes e4. I know what he's like. I know Blair too well. He will go e4 and do an exchange French. He just knows I'll have too much fun against everything else. And you know what he said to me yesterday, Jerry?
What's that?
He said, "Look, I don't care whoever I play, as long as I play you, and I get a chance to beat you. That'll be the time of my life." So, this is what I know. If I go pawn here, he's going to go for. Okay, I'm going to go for my little hedgehog. Where I got in a lot of trouble again last night. I don't want to exchange French. I just want to play some chess.
And you don't want to go into the London system.
Oh well, I mean, it's not being a London system now, but it's something like that. But Blair's a very tough customer, very underrated. It's his first stream today.
Yeah, he's popping his streaming cherry.
He is indeed, and I'll just put in his stream channel if you want to have a look at a little bit of different views. And Blair is probably quite drunk at the moment, I'd imagine. I just guess him, which I'm not saying I'm not. It is Bumratty. We're doing a virtual Bumratty. It's kind of working, Jerry.
It's kind of working.
It is.
Yeah. If any tournament was ever going to work online, it would be this one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I must refresh my beer, Simon.
You go and do that, sir. I'm just looking at Peter Dogger's story about. I mean, that was pretty bad of me. I mean, to try and play that on, but. The thing is, that does, Peter, remind me of a famous story of Bobby Fischer, and Bobby Fischer got down to an ending where he had the rook and knight versus his opponent's rook. So he's a knight up, but it's a dead draw. The kings are in the middle, and his opponent offered him a draw, and Bobby said, knowing full well the position is obviously a draw, he just said, "I'm a piece up." So if you're a piece up, you might as well play, right? You might as well play. That is the way I look at it. Anyway, I was probably quite lucky to get a draw in that game, the way my king was getting slaughtered, so it wasn't.
Blair seems to be taking his time in this game. That's the only comment I'd make.
Yeah, he's probably pouring himself a drink or something, or gone out for a cigarette, knowing Blair.
I think that's a bloody good idea. Excuse me while I
you
get
go and have a drink,
drink.
Joe. Yeah, you're allowed to have a drink. It's all cool, mate. All cool. Yeah. Okay, so against Blair, I'm going G5 because Blair's. By the way, you can see the picture behind Jerry. And this is where at his mate's house, where the party is, the bar at that house. So you can see that where we were one evening, having a good night. Now the thing with Blair, he's a really good player. Blair, very underrated. He doesn't really play much competitive chess. He only plays Bumratty. He's FM strength definitely, and he doesn't maybe like it when it's a tactical battle and pieces are on the board. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit complicated with something like g5. Give me some ideas, but obviously the hedgehog should just be better for white, really, this opening. Okay, now I'm thinking I'll try to get some dart squares maybe, but then he can put his knight here. Queen e7, knight here, then knight here maybe. Got to be a little bit careful in these positions because you can get in trouble. So I'm going to go this one, and I'm going to try and very riskily castle queenside at the right moment, at some moment, and just try to get on with it so we can get some kind of tactical onslaught there. So he has gone here, so I'm relying on this move to not cause any problems for me. If I can budge that knight away with a6 like soon. So I think I will get rid of that knight, even if it comes towards the center. And here I'm figuring where I don't like the knight on f6, because one thing I find about knight development is you need to give it a good future, and I feel like somewhere like this is a better future. So I'm going to go here with the idea of getting my knight in on the dart squares. On f6 it didn't really seem to have anywhere it could go next, but here it has a route, a future route, so that's why I'm placing the knight like this, so it has a future route into the game basically. Board Chewer saying Blair definitely sounds as if he's had a beer or two. Yeah, it's his first stream, it is Bumratty, and I would not be surprised. He's a dangerous player. So now he's going to come at me over here, which makes also a lot of sense. So I need to try and create some action, and I'm not sure how. I don't want to play this because his knight comes back in. This is the plan I'm worried about. So I feel now this might look like completely the wrong idea, but he's clearly, well, that was probably a mouse slip. He's clearly going to come at me with this one. Okay. No, he's not. He's doing this. Okay. Now I'm going to again try to play on the dart squares a little bit. I don't like this idea of b4, so I'm going to try to, again, a lot of my strat. Now that seems to me like an ugly positional move, you know, because he's locking his pawns. He has the option of playing a3 and b4, but so I'm not going to rush things so far. Let's put the pieces in the center of the board. Now this one and knight here is tempting, but again I'm going to try and improve all my pieces, and I kind of now looking at the bishop is dead on b7, so we can try to get it out this way. And now I'm going to quickly play this one to get the dart squares, get the e5 square here. And if I take here, he will take with a pawn, so I don't really want to come down pressure on this file here. And he might be coming in with his knight there. I'm going to go here. Sometimes I have the option of this one, but also I want to play h4 without allowing queen takes here. And I'm going to try and start a little bit of an attack. Now I could actually, I'm going to just completely close it down. Now I don't know if that's a good idea. It takes a lot of fluidity, a lot of the fluidness out of the position, but we can accelerate the pace here with some aggressive move like this. And you can see how my bishop is now pretty well structured. Now there probably is a very good move here, but if I take and come here, he's got some problems due to bishop takes d3 and e4. So it's not easy to see how he's going to deal with this one. So he's got to take here, and he's got queen rook here, but then I can take there. Do I have a simple way of doing this? I think I have. Well, I don't have to do this, but this is critical. And now take here. Is this right? I hope so. I hope I've calculated this. When it is the extra exchange, which is nice. So it's not all. Yeah, I mean, this obviously is the extra exchange now. He wants to get his knight to this square and try to do some blockading, but with the extra exchange, it's always going to be good. All right, that was intense, Jerry. You're quiet as I have ever heard you there. To be fair,
I was fascinated. I was really following that. That was very impressive, Sam. That was very impressive.
It's a tough game, you know. He's a very good player. I've got a lot of respect for Blair, and I certainly, if there's anyone I don't want to lose to, it's Blair, because I won't hear the end of it for the next year.
Yeah.
So.
Like when you took to the pawn on h4, you were expecting rook g3 and already planned queen takes g3. That was very impressive.
Yeah, I think we had to try something to keep things going there. And well, we're in the top. Are there prizes in this tournament? I don't even know if there are prizes. 2 rounds to go. Can I win a prize?
Oh yeah, there are prizes.
Do you know what they are yet? Or
well, first prize, the only one we've guaranteed is the first prize of €600. That's guaranteed. We also said there'll be a total prize fund of around €2,500. What we didn't want to do was advertise exactly what the prize fund was all the way down, because we want this to be more of a fun tour. But we will try to structure the prize money. The prizes won't be paid out immediately because chess.com have to do their checking and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. But we're going to try and structure the prize fund to make it as similar as we could to the normal Bunratty prize. You know, I'd love to be able to say this is now the Bunratty Challengers champion for Bunratty Masters champion, Challengers Major and Minor champion for 2021. That's what we really like to do. But it all depends on what their chess.com ratings are. We're going into it.
By the way, talking about interesting games, it looks like Joel Benjamin is going to beat Gawain Jones. This to me looks like Joel is just winning against Gawain. And at the top, Svidler must have lost the game to someone. Maybe someone can find out who Svidler lost to. And yeah, Bumratty is not about the prizes, definitely. It is about the spirit of the tournament. Everyone enjoying their love of chess, having a bit of a laugh. Even if you don't drink, you can enjoy it. Obviously, it's just we all like getting together and having a good old party. As they say in Ireland, we enjoy the crack.
The crack.
I'll tell you a story, Jerry. Like the first time, one of my first ever girlfriends was a girl from Dublin, right? And she's a bit older than me, and she said to me a couple of times, like, I never really understood this at the time. She said, Joel Benjamin won. She said, yeah, Simon, I'm just going to go out tonight and enjoy the crack. And you know, at the time I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, she's going to go out and this is what they go, you're going to have a good crack tonight. And I was like, you're going to go and have some crack tonight. And I'm literally thinking she's going out and getting on the crack. And I'm like, what's going on? But that it doesn't mean that, does it, in Ireland? What does the crack mean?
It's Irish for fun. You know,
Irish for fun.
Irish for fun. You know, basically, have a bit of fun. Have a Ceol agus crack.
Okay.
Music and fun.
Oh, by the way, David Howe beat Svidler. I told you, David. David Howe took Svidler down. Howley boy, I've got. You know what? I've got £25 on Howe. At free. Do we have coggers in the chat of 5-2? So I could be winning. I could be winning over 50 quid. Bring it on, boys. Bring it on.
Yeah. So it looks to me like David Howe's next opponent will be Joel Benjamin.
Yes, that's the big game at the moment.
That's a big game, yeah.
Massive game. Joel Benjamin versus David Howe at the top. And this is going to maybe lead to one winner. Unlucky there, Gawain, by the way. Gawain lost to Joel. Joel's a fantastic player anyway. I mean, that's clear. He's one of the strongest players from America in his period of time. He played in many Olympiad, and he's not one to be taken lightly.
Certainly not.
So there's a lot of tough players up there, as we can see. Mickey's only half a point behind the lead, and along with other dangerous players. I'm probably now going to play Gawain and get you know, God, that's going to be a tough one. We've got Mark Heidenfeld there. At least I'm above like Luke Machine and Vincent Kamore.
Oh. Wow. And you see your friend there, B-Man, isn't that Bjorn?
B-Man, well, you got two of them. You got Bragi and Bjorn from Iceland, and B-Man is Bragi. Bragi,
Bragi, is it? Okay.
That's Bjorn's brother, who is the GM in the family, and I hope Bjorn's not listening, because he won't be happy me saying that. Let's see where Bjorn is. The two Icelandic Torfinson brothers.
Bjorn is number 4.
Well, that's
or is that Bragi? Sorry, Bragi is number 4. Sorry, Bragi is number 4.
Let's see where his brother is. Bjorn, maybe he's rage quitted. We've got another Icelandic, Zibit, Zibit is and we got, there you go, Bjorn and Zibit are on 5 out of 7, so they're around this mark here. So bit of a Icelanders do love Iceland. There's a bit of a connection, isn't there, historically, of Iceland and Ireland, isn't there?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a historical connection with Bunratty and the Icelandic players. Could you have a look at the photographs in that? And there's a brilliant photograph taken at the bar in Bunratty in 2008, and there's all the Bunratty guys. If you could bring it up at some stage.
Jerry, I'll play this game first, if that's all right.
Oh, sorry, Simon. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
I can bring up the photos, but I'll play the game first. So I'm playing Mark Heidenfeld. I guess that's Mark, international master from Ireland. And
Indeed.
I'm going to play my recommendation. I played the French sets, and the recommendation in my latest Grandmaster Gambits is something I've never seen before, and I probably won't be able to remember it now. I'm already struggling to remember. Okay, the bishop. Okay, let's go for this one and see what happens. Okay, now this is where I've got to remember. Now I think the suggested line, to be sure. I think we take there. I've got to remember this. I just analysed this. B4 takes there, and I trap his bishop. Yeah. So this is what I just did my course of chessboard Grandmaster Gambits on this, and I think this move is actually a good move, believe it or not, because if he takes on F2. I probably got this totally wrong now. Oh no! Now we do we take that one? I'm so confused. My memory is terrible. So if I take there, okay, takes there. Then he goes Queen A6. I don't really like. Okay, I'm going to take here. If he takes on F2, I go King E2, and I'm threatening to win his bishop with Rook F1. So he has to go back. And now this is still in the course, so my memory is still just about there. And this is where we have the option of exchanging queens, but we don't want to exchange queens clearly. So I'm going to go B5. And I'm going to put my knight here. And this leads to quite interesting positions where I'm going for very quick development again.
Are we still within your course, do you reckon?
This is still within the course, but again, now I've had a couple of beers, my memory is so much worse than it used to be, and it's still like lines in the course. And I remember C4 being a key concept to play, so maybe I should have done that last move. Actually, if we go, I won't go back because it's crazy to do that when I'm playing. I'm slow enough as it is. I don't think. Yeah, I'm certainly slowing up a little bit here, Jerry. Yeah, this move is a terrible move. I should have played that one, and I kind of like Mark's position now. I have to be totally honest. So I'm gonna play a little bit quicker now. Rook C1 again. Knight B3, terrible move. When the knight was on D2, C4 is the key move to play in these positions, and the way Mark's played the opening is quite clever because he's I mean, I'm even tempted to put the knight back here now and have another go at C4. So I'm actually going to do this even though it doesn't look correct. Try to get C4 in. And this is also a good idea, but in these positions without the light square bishop, it's very hard to attack. And Mark is a really experienced player, and he knows how to play these kind of structures. So I'm going to put my queen over here anyway. And the only way you can try to attack, which is an idea, you mentioned John Nunn. And John Nunn used to do this against me, is put the knight on H5 in these things. And if I get the knight to H5, you get some chances. You can also push the H pawn. But the main issue is dealing with F6. So I'm going to, for now, step out of the way. So if he does move the F pawn, then this one's a little bit tender. And I'm just going to try and get my knight to H5 in the position here. But of course, positionally speaking, I'm not doing great. So I think I'm not too worried about that pawn. We don't care about pawns. If he takes that, I'm just going to dive in. So this is, as I mentioned, where the knight often belongs. So now he's breaking out, and I want to open it. And if knight here, rook comes to this square, which is still quite tempting, and it's getting a little bit tactical at this moment in time. I'm gonna go. Oh shit! There's a check. This is where you check your drinks. Check your drinks, man. Check your drinks. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go this way and pray. I guess. And I've got to move quicker. Right, I'll shut up and drink and play. Mark's a very good blitz player. I played him in the semi-final of the last Bunratty on Sunday blitz thing. He's a very good blitz player.
Oh, he is. He's very fast.
Very fast. Very fast player. So a lot of blitz skills he's got. We do get two seconds to move every game, so that might give me some hope. And my simple idea here is to take here. And
is that the increment you were complaining about a while ago?
Yes, that is. Well, when it works in my favour, it's fine, Jerry. When it works against me, it's a load of rubbish. The rules need to adapt to me. I don't play by the rules. No, of course it's no. I mean, I do remember the days when you had the no increment, and you got some really crazy like blitz things going on there. You know.
Yeah.
But I think
absolutely.
Increment's a good thing, right? It is a good thing.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Generally, and as you get older, it gets more and more important. So.
I can definitely vouch for that.
Okay, so simple idea here is to crack down on e6. Now I'm trying to wonder what happens if he goes bishop c5, because if I go knight takes, he goes bishop takes f2. I go king here, he takes on e1, but then maybe I have knight g5. Okay, he's played it. Of course, he's played it. Otherwise, I have to go for the ending. This one is. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that rook first. And now the ending. Okay, the ending's a safe way, and as I'm down on time, I'm gonna go safe way of playing this. Right. Yeah, this is a good move, because if I take there, he comes down in. So I'm actually going to come back. I'm not sure about that one. That's a very negative move to play. So I'm pawn up, but he's got this fantastic knight. But it is a pawn. And my knight does a good job of stopping his rook coming into the position.
Yeah, pawn is worth a little trouble.
So he's trying now to cause some issues over here, and he is causing some issues over there. Strange move he played there. So I've got the extra pawn and the ending. Is it going to be enough to win? I don't know. Obviously, I had a draw there by just, but we don't want any of that. No, it feels to me I'm not going to win this game. Oh shit, my time as well. I'm not going to win this game without my king. There's no way I can win this position without my king doing something. So we're going to have to try and get this guy in. Maybe with f4 and come this way, for example. f4 to... Okay, don't lose your rook either. That would be a little bit stupid. Okay, well I nicked a pawn now. It's not looking good for him now. It's 2 pawns. 2 pawns is quite nice. This is a very nice situation normally for your rook and knight. It's, okay, right. Simplify is good. Let's keep it as simple as we can. should be all right now. Should be okay. And they come forwards, and you can't. King coming here, maybe? Is that the way to do it? Let's see. Oh, that was a little bit intense there. A little bit intense. We're in 8th place. Woo!
Wow. That's good. That's good. And B-Man is up there in top place at the moment.
B-Man's up there. David Howe. Let's see what David Howe's going on again. This is okay. Who's David Howe? 7.5. David Howe is leading by half a point. 1 game to go. B-Man is up there. So Brady is doing very well.
Yes,
up there in 2nd place.
So yeah, 7.5 out of 8 for David Howe. Yeah. I was going to say my 8 out of 9 prediction. It's still possible, but if David wins his last round game, it's going to be 8.5, which is your one.
And he's played Svidler, hasn't he? So David
Howe
has
played Svidler, yeah. Yes.
And he beats Svidler, but you might have to play someone like Mickey in the last round.
Yes,
which
and
is
Mickey.
Very tough. I don't know if there's many games. No, there's not many games going on. We could roll down and see who else is up there. So we've got David Howe. Excuse me, the bubbles are coming through now. David Howe in 1st place. Peter Svidler's in 2nd. It's all going to come down to the last round. And okay, I've got Joel Benjamin in the last round. So the guy who just crushed, well, I don't know about crushed, but beat Gwaine Jones. So we're going to go with a Gambit course. I did play Joel in Bumratty, and he did beat me, but he did have the major advantage having the white pieces. That's my excuse.
Okay, getting them in early, yeah.
So we're going to go for, I don't know, D4 looks normal, and I'm going to try gambiting. Sod it. Had too many beers. Right. Now I probably shouldn't have done that, should I? Now this wasn't in the Gambit course. Knight takes D4 was. Just want to clarify that. I'm trying to force the Gambits a little bit too much, I feel, in this position. But okay, let's play Queen C2. And Joel's got a really high rating as well. He's one of the best players ever. It's not Billy Joel. It's not Billy Joel.
And he was involved, in the program of Deep Blue, the program that beat Gary Kasparov in 1997.
Yeah. Well, do you know anything about that? Any sort of background story to that at all?
No, I have no background story to it, but not really. Joel was very. When I did ask him about it at the Olympiad in 2002, I think he was very reserved and very,
right.
Very.
Okay, not giving anything.
Modest. Yeah, he was very modest about his contribution.
He's kind of. I'm not going to say retired from chess because that's not fair. But he doesn't play competitive chess anymore. I don't know if he ever had another job. Did he, Joel?
I don't really know, but he's married to an Irish girl.
Hey, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they live over in America, right?
They do, yeah. They do.
Okay, so, and this is obviously quite an important game for the standings. Like, if I lose this game, it's like, okay, like, not a great tournament at all. But if I win the game, it's like, yeah, hello.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll take that. And my, so I'm now going for some little swing arounds over here. But he is a bit of a legend of American chess, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think many times US champion.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to try to checkmate him because that's kind of like that's what you're supposed to do. David Howe had a quick draw in the last round. Did you see that?
Wow, I did. I just saw that.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
Wow.
That's a bit.
They agreed.
difficult,
There was plenty of play left in the position.
Oh, David.
Wow.
That's a little bit disappointing.
Well, it opens the door for other people to join in, no, doesn't it?
How do they work out who comes first? Because is there going to have to be a playoff in Bumratty style?
I don't think so. No, there's no playoff in chess. Which is unfortunate. I know. Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
There's
No,
no
it'll just be on. It'll just be on tie break.
So So maybe
Shame.
Maybe he's worked out his tiebreak is pretty tasty.
Yeah, he probably has. You know, well, your tiebreak does tend to be good when you've been thereabouts all the way through the tournament because you're playing the top players.
That's true. Right. Okay. And this is now my main threat is Rook H3 trying to trap Joel's queen here. So I'm actually now. I think I've hit the right alcohol level, Jerry. It's taken me to round 9, but you know that magic spot. You must know that as a pool player. There's a magic spot, right?
There is, absolutely. With me, it was always 3 pints.
Yeah, and I think I've got to kind of the magic spot now. Sloncher. Slonter. Did I say sloncher? I did. Slonter. Slaughter. So he can. I'm thinking go. I'm literally just trying to go Rook H3 and trap his queen. It looks, and actually, he probably has to play F4 here.
Yeah, he needs to give some room.
Yeah, but I go Rook H3 and he has no room. He has to then take. He has to take my rook. Queen takes. Take here, but he's. I mean, it should be a losing position for him, but that does not mean I'm going to win it. Obviously, far from it, I'd imagine. But it's really hard to stop this move. Actually, this is. He's got Bishop H4 as a reply. Okay, so he's taken here. This is also obviously playable, and he's going to try to run away with the queen. Should have seen this one. I didn't necessarily see this one. Okay, now I should be doing well here. Rook here, here. Okay, let's just keep the pressure up because I think he has to come to F5. I'm not winning the queen. It's not as good as I thought it was, but I'm trying to gain a very useful tempo against his queen. So he has to play here. Now this is the question that he's got to answer. If he goes G5, I still take the bishop. And we'll try and keep the pressure on here. His position looks a bit dodged to me. It looks a little bit dodged.
Kind of like Mickey Allen's position against Peter's Fiddler. I'm not going to say any more than I kind of like it.
Okay, so this one looks better here. Keep throwing them in. There we go. Yes, son.
Wow.
Nice.
Well done, Simon. Nice result.
And Joel was actually saying Queen E1 was care. Yeah, I was very lucky there.
Boom.
Yeah. So it's nice when your opponent actually says something nice after the game, because a lot of time you get them trolling. But Joel, incredibly strong player, and it seemed like the position was okay, but the killer move was this Queen F1 move, and I don't think there was any way after this move that he could come back really, because this Queen F1 move just threatens Rook H3 attacking the Queen, but also I've got the Queen coming to G2. So there's a number of issues here for Joel, but again, very nice of him. He's been very polite in the chat. I like it when someone's polite in the chat, Jerry. But I'm gonna have to use the toilet. But let's leave it. A
real gentleman. Yes,
he's a real gentleman. And while I go to the toilet, this is a very important game for the standings. This is a game at the moment. You can see the standings. Howl is leading out right, so they are fighting here. They both need to win. And so does B-Man's in with a shout, believe it or not. But I'm going to use the toilet quickly, Jerry. Over to you for the commentary, Jerry.
I hope you guys aren't expecting expert commentary here. You know, wow, it's... Okay. I can just tell you that David Howell has finished on 8 out of 9. Simon on 7.5 is currently placed 3rd in the leaderboard. and Peter Siddler is still playing on 7 out of 8. So there's quite a lot. So this game is hugely important, and I think Mickey Adams is certainly going to try and do everything he can to produce a win here. It's not quite a good knight versus bad bishop. I think black should probably be the one pushing. If anyone can push. Black's lonely pawn there on d4. Means his king can't go running around the board. Oh yes, now we have Simon coming back, so we have the expert.
So Jerry, it's very interesting. I mean, you got this game going on. If they finish, they're still going. I mean, Mickey's
still going.
I think Mickey's probably just winning this one.
Is he winning? I know he's the one pushing, but I was wondering whether he was.
Well, I think his king's going to come to f5 and his knight's going to come, and it's just good knight versus bad bishop. I mean, it might not be winning, but it's really, really close. I mean, I'm just going to also bring up Gawain Jones versus B-Man, and Gawain did beat B-Man there in the end. I'm sorry to switch games, but I just want to have a look at the tournament scores as we go on, because it is getting very exciting at the end, and we keep it on the Svidler game, but we've got tournament scores. So at the moment, Gawain, this one, if he can hold it, so look at me, I'm in 4th place. Can you Adam believe it?
I reported that. Yes, you're in 4th place, Simon. Considering you were seeded 9th or 10th, I'm not quite too sure which. There's Mickey has a.
I've heard there's a £1,000 prize for the person who comes 5th. Is that right? No. Can I take a bar tab next Bumratty? Is that right? They've gone for a draw. They've repeated a draw. So
my God!
So David Howe is the winner of Bumratty.
And I'm going to take a little bow and say he won on my predicted score of 8 out of 9.
And I come in 6.
You've jumped to 6.
Yeah, I know. I've been shot down. And well, okay. So we can say well done to David Howe. And that I had one bet, and my bet was David Howe because he's bloody good. And well done, David Howe, on winning this fantastic competition. And Peter Svidler and Mickey, 2 legends of the game, 2 of the strongest players in the world at chess, playing there. And I had this draw, which Mickey looked like he was pushing, but Svidler knows his stuff, and he held it. I don't know who Jackie is. Who is Jackie? Oh, by the way, just before we move on, I want to say a big shout out to David Smith. We keep the stream going a little bit so we can play a video, have a chat and stuff. But hello to, I think that's David Smith. Dave, is that David from Cork? I think so. So big shout out to you, David, if it is you. But what a tournament. So we're just going to find out who Jackie 72 is.
He's an IM from Romania. He's a very young man. He played as an FM in Bunratty in 2016, I think. I'm as bad now with names as you are, Simon. Konstantinie Minia. Konstantinie Minia.
By the way, your shout, people are saying your shout of 8 out of 9 was pretty good, Jerry, yeah?
Yeah, it was accurate.
Am I allowed to say I came 2nd equal, as someone else has asked?
I suppose you could do that, but we're only paying. You know the main prize fund goes to the top 4. Simon. Sorry.
The top 4.
4.
Did you just make that roll up? But I came 2nd equal.
It's Gary O'Grady's anti-English rule.
Yes, I know. So you had to pay out 2, but you just me and Mickey 5th and 6th. You couldn't. You didn't.
Well, I'm sure we'll have a look at the myself and Paul Carey. We'll sit down and have a look at the finances and blah, blah, and expect a Dear John letter. So
definitely. And by the way, massive thank you also to Gawain in the chat. Jerry is saying, well done to David. Gawain, a complete gentleman. Yes. Thanks a lot for organising the event, Jerry, and brilliant work. And thank you. The commentary's good. Time to see where the nearest coffee shop is. It's very early for Gawain. And Fiona has just raided us as well. So hello to Fiona, and thank you for the raid. over here. We're just obviously covering the same tournament. If you were there with Fiona, looking at this competition, we're doing it with the main man this side, and this is old Jerry in his bar. Can you can you pour us a whiskey from your bar there, Jerry? Are you allowed to pour us a whiskey?
Oh, well, I'll find you a whiskey there in a few minutes. A nice Irish one, a Jameson Gold, maybe.
A Jameson Gold, yeah. And okay, well, let's have a look. Where did Fiona finish? Hello, Fiona. It was a load of fun playing. Did you get on the White Russians, Fiona? I wonder if Fiona was on the White Russians today.
Fiona was streaming practically all day. She started 3 hours before the event.
Oh, really? Bloody
yeah.
Hell. Oh, well done. Well done, Fiona. So, okay, so to finish, let's have a look at the score. So, David Howe did win the event. Massive.
He did.
Fiona says she got on the White Russians at 3 p.m. So, no wonder she stopped streaming now. I can understand. It was a good day streaming for Fiona. So, cheers to you, Fiona. And David Howe, well done on winning. It's a great win. And oh yeah, Gwen came second. I didn't even see that. Sorry, Gwen.
Yeah, he came second. Yeah, he
wow.
came second.
Brilliant.
Really impressive. Yeah. Peter Spidler's placed third.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jackie is fourth, and I'm in good stead here. Why have I been pushed down? I keep going down. Every time I look at the screen, I go down another ranking.
Yeah.
That's not very fair.
I don't know what's going on there.
Is this the, you know, I've tried it. I've even made my flag British rather than English, Jerry. I thought that might help a little bit, but it doesn't. It doesn't help. So,
you know, and fair play to Mickey Adams, who was claiming before the event that he wasn't very good with a mouse.
Oh,
but
Mickey's
he was
class act.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I scored 7.5.
Mickey's always class act. Okay, so a final look at the scores, and then we'll just maybe play the videos again. And so we had this big group of people on second equal. And I'm just going to say I finished in second equal. We're not going to go into details. Well done, David. And Vincent came on, this prodigy who people tipped to be the next world champion. B-Man, the B-Man from Iceland.
Yeah.
Well done, B-Man. Bray. And then we'll go down some other ones we know.
Thomas Rendell there at number 11. And Lawrence actually came 13th.
Lawrence did come 13th, not too bad. Luke, not one of his better tournaments. Chris Baker there, Richard Bates, Keith Arkall, we got Bjorn, Zibbit, Ushko the Bear. Blair kind of tailed off. I wonder why do you think Blair tailed off during the end of the tournament, Jerry?
I think there was probably two factors there, and one was your devastation after your crush, but the other could have been more liquid based.
Yes, I think it's a combination that I managed to beat Blair and then he got on the liquid. So, like, yeah, could have been a combination of those two.
I see Keith Arkell there at number 30. Shout out to Keith and his recent brilliant book.
Yeah, Arkall's Endings. Have you got? I bet you haven't got yourself a copy, have you? Have you got one?
The only chess books I read, Simon, are biographies of famous players. I've long since given up the idea of becoming a great chess player. Even a good chess player. And all of my chess reading is done in the smallest room in the house, if you know what I mean.
What is your favourite chess book, Jerry? Like biography. Who's your favourite chess player in chess book?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. My favourite chess player is Mikhail Tal.
Yeah, Mikhail Tal. Oh, snap. By the way, Fiona, yeah, Blair was streaming. And Blair might be streaming, and his channel is Blair Chess. And if he's still streaming, we might just give him a raid just for the laugh. So just for the laugh, because he's probably had a fair few White Russians. And okay, well, I'll tell you what, Jerry. Thank you so much for holding it all. I'm going to play the video, and then we'll just have a look at some of the photos again. And so I want to play like this tournament, Bumratty. This is an online tournament, and the reason this is happening, Jerry's the main organizer of this competition in Ireland.
Well, one of them. Sorry. Sorry.
Paul
Carey, Brian Scully, Ted Jennings. You know.
I should really give a big shout out to the other guys. I was saying Jerry, the beers hit me. So let's give a massive shout out to the other guys as well who make Bumratty happen every year. So it's and let me get the names right here. So we got Paul Carey.
Paul Carey, Ted Jennings.
Ted Jennings, yeah.
And Brian Scully.
And Brian Scully. So these guys over in Ireland make the. And my first time I went to Bumratty was like 15 years ago. My friend Gary O'Grady, who helped sponsor the tournament, took me over there. He said this is a great tournament in Ireland, and I had the best time of my life. And I've been going back nearly every year for the last 15 years. And it's the kind of tournament you go to if you just want to chill out, play some chess. So it's quite serious chess. But also it's socialised, and you can really enjoy yourself outside of the chess. Have a good crack, as they say in Ireland. Have the crack, have some of the crack. So and have a great time. One thing that's become quite famous, and I know this tournament's going to be going on next year at this date. You can fly in there near to Limerick, and one thing that's going to be going on is the infamous house party. And I'm just going to leave you. There's two things at this house party, and this starts on the Thursday. And here's some shots. This is at someone's house, believe it or not. Look at that whiskey selection. It's fantastic whiskey selection. And look how many chess players can you name there. You got the famous Peter Doggers there, Keith Arkall. You've got you've got Malcolm Payne, Tim Wall, Mark Hedman. Fiona's in the shot. Blair, me having a Guinness. And going on, there's Jerry with his leather suit, looking very cool, looking very, very cool. And look at that. This is the local pub near to the venue, and you know, it's a very, very cool tournament. And this is like my little history. The first time I played, look how young I look there. It's bloody scary. That's when I won it the first time. Oh, the memories. Yeah, Fiona, the memories. Fiona, you know, if you come over, you'll meet us all. But look at that. Look how young I look as the evolution goes. That's my evolution. And these are some famous people here as well. Gary, the sponsor. Luis Gallego. Bjorn, looking very healthy. And the English breakfast there. And we're finished with that video again. And this is Jerry's brother. And we'll come back and
never saw this video before. I actually never saw this video.
You never saw this video? Right, you never saw the video. Okay, so this is a video from the party, the pre-party at someone's house, and he's got a bar. He's got a bar at his house, and you see how many chess players you can recognise. Now there is at least one finalist of the World Championships in this video. Okay, there's at least one finalist in the World Championships in this video. There's multiple GMs. Let's see how many you can find. Okay, we'll play that video, then me and Jerry will come back.
So when I write something about this tournament, I can just get all your photos. Right?
Yeah, videos, photos,
No reason to get excited. If you think on let's go. There are many here among us who think that life is but a joke. But you and I
get dizzy doing this.
And this is not our fault.
Limbo dance under the camera.
Now, the hour's getting late. All along the watchtower, princes kept their view, while all the women came and went, and barefoot servants too. But outside in the distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching now, and the wind began to howl.
One, two, three, four.
Hey!
Over in the USA, with the tape. How does country wrestling trick? Yeah, you will.
Hey! Good stuff. There we go, Jerry. That was good memories, right? That was really good memories.
Very good memories. Very good memories. And Paul Carey has promised that the next time we have an over the board Bumratty, which we're hoping will be next year, that there will be another pre-Bunratty party. Oof. Same place, same time, Thursday night before the event.
Is he got my Has he got a bottle of whiskey with my name on it?
I'm sure he has. I'm absolutely positive he has.
Okay,
Probably more than one, which is the danger.
Yes, probably. And Jerry, I see in the chat lots of love for you as well. So we got Gary in the chat. We've got Chris Baker in the chat. Chris, another regular, and you know, great guy and everything. So it's I'm feeling a little bit drunk now. Is there anything you'd like to add before we end the stream, Jerry?
Just my congratulations to Simon Williams, GingerGM, on a great performance in Bunratty 2021.
One of my best yet, yeah. So this is apart from the first year, this is my best performance since 15 years. I just realised it's my best performance over 15 years. Wow!
And you did it without leaving your own comfortable home.
I know. I'd rather be in Ireland. I'd rather be with you guys in Ireland. But of course, most of it.
Hopefully, that'll be next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Simon, thanks very much for having me as a guest on your stream. I really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, thank you, mate. And okay, what we'll do, we'll just give Simon a raid. And Jerry, shall I let you go now then? And
yes, okay.
Okay, all right. So we're saying massive thank you to Jerry and the organising team at Bumratty who make the whole event possible. So thank them so much for this. And it is a really fun event. This is the way chess should be played. If you're interested in playing next year, just keep an eye on stuff. You know, all the cool people go there. And who should we rate?
Peter Fiddler is still streaming there if you want to.
Okay, we'll give Peter a raid definitely, and the legendary Peter Fiddler. So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll see. I'll see you all again.
Thanks again, Simon.
Yep. Cheers, Jerry. Okay. Goodbye, Jerry. Thank you so much for organising it all. Cheers.
Bye.
Okay. I'll end the call now, Jerry. Okay. You beat me to it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll try to be back more streaming soon. It was a bit of a fun stream today. We're going to pass it over to Peter's Fiddler, and yeah, thank you so much, and hope to see you again.